Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. In this week's technical analysis, we'll look at the big three and another good performer in this market that's broken the correlation recently. So I hope everyone had a great Easter. Last week when we did the technical analysis, we were looking for this rollover from the moving averages. We knew this cycle bracket was going to be pushing down to the 1st of April, and we were hoping for a sideways chop before another push higher, but we didn't get that. We got the rollover for the entire length of that bracket, and now we're getting that push up as we expected from the 1st of April onwards. But it's a weak bounce to start off with. So we want more volume. We want this to continue higher. The bleeding stopped, but this is just a temporary rally, guys, until proven otherwise. So there's a lot of overhead resistance now at 8,000 around this moving average. A lot of work to do to repair the technical damage that's been done in this longer term downtrend. So an ideal scenario now would be for this up move to continue to at least the 7th or 8th of April. We want to see increasing volume and just this stair step higher, maybe form a higher low on this daily chart, but we want to continue higher for as many days as we can, as opposed to these weak bounces where we roll over very early on and continue lower for the length of these time cycles. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. We did lose that log trend line as well, guys, and that was the big bleeding red candle there. There's a lot of touch points and a lot of people were watching this, as I'd mentioned before. So one thing I am noticing is that a lot of chartists and technical analysis have turned quite bearish, and we're seeing a lot of people targeting 6,000 again as a retest, or 5,000 and ladder your orders in. Now, those people that are believes in the technology or been in this space a long time, even they are turning bearish, and that's just something to be aware of. I've noticed it more and more that just about everyone is becoming bearish now and expecting to be able to buy in lower, expecting that it is going lower. And sometimes when everyone gets to that point where they expect it to go lower, sometimes there's no one left to sell. Now, that can all change on news and fundamentals. It's just something to be aware of as well. As I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but I've certainly noticed a lot of people now expecting it to go lower, when the fact is, this was the time to be expecting and shorting. The damage is mostly done now. I think we're definitely at or near the bottom. I don't think we're going to continue to bleed lower for months and months on end. And I just want to mention something that's come out of the blue really for me. So we're getting a lot of messages to our Nuggets News Australia Facebook page from people wanting to buy large amounts of cryptos. Do you have someone that can help me buy large amounts? And I'm talking millions or in the tens of millions as well. So guys, I have done that video, and we are partners with Caleb and Brown. They're an Australian and New Zealand brokerage firm. Now they specialized in large orders, so from $10,000 up to 50 million. But I just thought it was a bit out of the blue, considering we've had this long run, we've been lower, and then all of a sudden we're getting a lot of messages from people saying, hey, do you know anyone that can help us get these large amounts of money into Bitcoin? So I know it's a small sample size, just something to be aware of. I'll obviously mention if that continues or whatnot, but there's definitely some big players in this space that have decided that these levels represent good value for them. So I'll get rid of this log chart and we'll have a look at Ethereum. Again, it's been the weakest of the lot here really. We're finally getting this bounce as this smaller cycle bracket gives us a push, but this is a weaker bounce than Bitcoin, and we're certainly extended away from these moving average, just like we're extended to the upside. We're now extended to the downside by just about all measures, and we're expecting that 300 mark where we spend a lot of time to be a really good long-term support if we get down there. A weak bounce, let's see how we go. As we said, we've got a lot of damage to start to repair on the charts. Litecoin, again, a weak bounce from this cycle bracket. Everything's tracking Bitcoin, guys. I know it's frustrating, and that's why I wanted to cover VeChain as well, because that is moving independently. And I've spoken about DGX, DGD, which has sort of moved independently of the market, and this is what I hope to see when I do fundamental analysis and invest in good projects for the longer term. This one here had a big retrace, 78.6% of its big move. And then we've had a 50% move off these lows just in the past couple of days, from $2 to $3. This is what we want to see when we invest in good projects, having big moves, doing good things, and start to break that correlation and move independently of the market. So there's a couple there that are in my portfolio that have started to move independently. You know, I hope in 12 months time, 18 months time, whenever it is when these markets mature, that the good projects are all moving independently, because as I said with Litecoin just before, I know it's very frustrating when everything is just tracking Bitcoin. So a good start here, guys. What we want to see is that volume come in, continue to have these legs higher, consolidation on lower bear volume, another leg higher on good bull volume, and just continue that stair step higher. It's going to take a lot of work to overcome that long bear trend. There's a lot of people on the sidelines that want security. They don't want to enter the market until they are 100% sure that the bear market's over and that the drift lower and the bleeding has stopped. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that analysis. Let's see how it plays out this week. It's certainly the first sort of positive feeling we've had here. I know a lot of people are excited at this move here. It feels slightly different to the other bounces we've had before we've rolled over. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you're getting that feeling that everyone's negative and everyone's expecting us to continue to go lower, or if you think we could be at or near the bottom. So please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share these videos around, and as always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Cheers.